If we want to attack this program, then we know we can disassemble it. And we see that the buggy part of say hello has this call to fgetS right here. And we can see that the name argument is being passed at an offset of 14 from RSP, while the function starts by subtracting 24. So 24 minus 14 is 10, so we know that 10 from the start of the name buffer is the return address that we might overwrite. But what would we overwrite it with? We're trying to get a shell, which means we need to exec ben sh. But if we look inside of the place where exec is called, right here, then we can see that it's always being called with ben date. If we jump into this showDate function, it's always going to load the literal string ben date and then call it. Is there some way that we could overwrite ben date with ben shell? Well, maybe. There's some chance that these literal strings are write protected, but there's unlikely to be any code in the existing executable that will overwrite ben date with ben sh. We do happen to have this function getShellPath that gives us the string ben sh, but how can we get that string to be the argument to the environment function here? Just repeating all of that, this was our buggy program where we've got the buffer overflow bug right here. We looked at the machine code and we know that our return address is at offset 10 from the start of that buffer that we overflow. This buffer overflow we want to somehow exploit to get to this code that doesn't exec VE, but where ben date doesn't turn out to be ben/date, but instead turns out to be ben sh. We saw that in showDate, the problem is that ben date is loaded into REX, and that ultimately becomes the argument to the environment function down here. But if we just jump to the beginning of showDate, it's always going to be that string.